It says I'm live. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully YouTube's up and working again.
Hey, Brandon Day. Great morning to be up and out. Get at 'em, guys. Have a great day today. Can't get any better than Brandon.
Where's he going, Brandon, at? I got Ryan's. Well, let's see what else is going on in the world of internet news here today. Let me know if I'm live and local here for you guys. Boom. There it is. Audio's going. Audio's working. Good enough. Got my boxer dog down here. He's thinking he's an executive producer today. He's just lonely. Lonely dog. All right. If you're watching this as a replay, you can skip ahead. 16, 17, 18 minutes. You'll be fine that way. Let's get everything else organized and ready to go is what I'm going to do. Morning, Waylon. Audio's working. Free fishing weekend, huh? I think. Pretty sure. Where's my sheets? Where's my sheets here? Pretty sure I had that somewhere. No. That's not it. Hey, Popper Bits. Let me tell you. Appreciate it. Of course, he's not listening, but I appreciate the message saying I'm not going to listen until I start my radio program. All right. Well, that's fine, because all I do is sit here and BS anyway on the tube before we get going on that. Where did I have that? I know I have an email in here somewhere. There it is. Free kids. It's free fishing weekend in South Dakota. So the kids tournament's going on in Pier area. Let's just do page 1. Hopefully. Is it going to work? Come on, printer. Morning, Karen. Good morning. Well, what the heck's going on here? There. Now let's print. Chuck Hansen, good morning, sir. Let's get this baby ready to go, huh? There it is. High Plains and Pier, Fort Pier. That's what's going on. Hey, Chuck, what's the temperature and weather like down there right now? Let me know. I gotta find Brent Kemnitz number here. There it is. Let's see here. 39 sunny. Okay. That should be an okay day for fishing, I guess. I'd rather be fishing than going and trying to catch my horse and going branding here, but that was a chilly one yesterday. Holy moly. Damn chilly. See what else here. Oh, it's time for the morning ivermectin shot. Ouch, son of a bitch. Guess I'll take it right in my pinky finger. If I should put a new needle on that one of these days. All right, a heads up. Next Saturday will be the day after my branding for the radio program, so there may be a few people joining me on the program. It might be, we'll see. They might actually be doing this on the air. Who knows? Ivermectin, here's it to you. All right. Let's get old Brent on here. See what he's up to. See if he answers his phone. Well, he just texted me back.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. We're live on YouTube before we go on the radio show, so whatever you say is going to be recorded.
Okay, sounds good. Oh, how are we doing today?
Pretty damn good. How are you doing?
Doing good. Yep. A little brisk out this morning.
Yeah, it was brisk yesterday.
It was brisk yesterday for sure. So, yeah.
Makes for good fishing. I mean, that's where the big fish come, don't they?
Yeah, right. I was surprised how bad it shut them off. That's for sure.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sure you got a chance to talk to your father-in-law and mother-in-law after their trip.
Not yet. They were on their way home. I was at a branding all day yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So I got a text. I just got a text that they were home. I never had a chance to talk to them yet.
Yeah. They had enough of the cold after the first day. So
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So we're taking a rain check on the second day. Yep.
Well, as long as you can fit them in somewhere, that'd be great.
We'll be able to get them in. Yeah. Get some warmer weather where it's a little more comfortable for them and can enjoy themselves for sure. So, yeah.
Crazy spring, man. I don't even know. I mean, did you see the picture? So my wife's down in the hills this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little condo down in Leeds, South Dakota.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've seen the photo that somebody took. It was the last day of school yesterday.
Yeah.
Let me see here if I
didn't see it.
Hold on, I'm going to send it to you here. Where the heck? I had your number right here. Where was the last text message? There it is. All right, I'm going to send it to you here because it's kind of a funny little thing here. And I'm going to show it to everybody here on the, whoops. I don't need to send it to you twice, but I sent it there. I was trying to show it to the folks here on the YouTube side. It's the Lead Deadwood High School billboard.
Yep.
And it says, "Happy summer vacation." When school lets out for summer vacation and it's still winter in South Dakota.
Yeah. Wow. That pretty much sums up our spring, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a goofy one. I have a frozen water this morning. I got to try to make another branding, but I got to try to get that thawed out before I head out.
Oh, yeah.
Of all the times, May 21st, and I have frozen water hydrants.
Just not right.
However, what a difference compared to last year. Oh, boy.
At least we have moisture, right?
A little bit. Bit to start out with. Yep.
Yeah. It sure is. Pastures all greening up there and stuff like that.
Yep, sure are.
Yep. Yeah, it looks just gorgeous around here. Really, really nice. So, next straighten out a little bit anyway. So temperature-wise.
Yeah. Hopefully I can make some hay this year. That's what I'm hoping for.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That would be good.
Coming up next Friday, branding time. I know Gene and Brenda told you.
No,
I guess they say the heck with guiding and making money. Jump into $5 gasoline and come on up here.
Yeah, come up and help you. Help you brand a few calves, huh?
Well, we're hoping to.
Yeah,
quite a few less calves than I should have because of that first storm. But
yeah,
what do you do?
Right. Did the second storm? Did you lose any second storm or not as bad?
You know what? The second storm, a couple calves here and there, but 4 cows I can't find, and 2 bulls. I think they're in the bottom of Davis Dam in the little fishing recreation area we have. I'm pretty sure that's where they wandered into. So I'm trying to prove that. How do you prove it when you can't find them? That's the thing is I saw tracks in the snow and they went into the middle of the dam and that's it. It's like end of the road. But I'm not going to hire no scuba diver to go down there and try to find them, so.
Was the dam froze over or just?
No, it's just that really slushy stuff and it was so white and thick and heavy. They just went head to tail and just kept walking thinking they could get through it, I think, or something. I don't know what.
Right.
Stupid ass bulls. But that's just so now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to prove this for the livestock indemnity program. I like how they go out there and you hear it all across the radio. It's like, oh, there's this much money available for this, and because of this, there's this much money and this much money and this much money, and then you apply for the money, and then they're like, well, you don't really fit the criteria, and you got to prove this and you got to prove this. So it's like it's not like there might be money available, but I bet you just a fraction of it gets used because there's so much shit you got to try to prove, and it's like, well, I'm not going to spend $2,000 to prove that my $1,100 cow is in the bottom of a dam.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's just, it's a bummer of a deal. That's for sure. But. Yeah. What else has been happening? Anything?
No, just brandings. A few auctions. I was at auction on Thursday up in Hazen.
Okay.
Up where Jesse lives there in that area. And helped out up there a little bit. And bull sales are kind of wrapped up for the year for the most part.
Right.
That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Came home last night. I was froze down so much I made a tent like I was like a kid making a fort in your parents' couches, and put a little space heater in there like a damn igloo and sat there and warmed up.
I can imagine. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, it was, I think that's how Brent and Jean both felt too on Thursday. It was just, when we got off the water, when we came off the water, the thermometer on the pickup said it was 47 degrees. And the wind was gusting to like 37.
Oh,
so
Jesus Christ.
It was brutal. It wasn't that bad when we went out in the morning, but
just continually got a little bit worse, huh?
Worse and worse as the day went. Then, of course, we came out the water, and about an hour later, wind lays flat down, and you get a really nice evening, and so. But well.
Yeah.
Yep. The way it goes.
What do you do? It is what it is.
Yep.
Can't control the weather.
This is true.
I had an argument with somebody yesterday.
Uh-oh.
They claim that guys can get pregnant. And I'm like,
I hope you were arguing the other way and you won.
I was, and maybe I'm out of this, but I'm pretty sure that somebody said, well, yeah, but if you have a transgender, it can't get pregnant. And I'm like, I still don't believe that's true. And they said, well, somebody had a surgery and got this all going on or whatever, and had all the lady parts put inside and had a kid. And I'm like, okay, I can see that, but naturally, this cannot happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I just, whatever, man. And it was one of the strangest conversations. Conversations you think you'll never have in your lifetime. That's one of them.
I don't think. Yeah, and I don't think you can throw anything out the door right now. I think
it's just crazy, man. Yeah,
crazy.
I don't know what the hell.
Yeah. Yep, that's for sure.
So do you have Snapchat?
I don't.
Okay. Well, so I do because I try to stay up on some of the social stuff, but I got a buddy that sends me like 47 of them a day, and he thinks they're funny, but I expect more out of my guy friends than sending me pictures of other guys doing videos. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I'm on board with you on that.
Eric, good morning from the Pier area here. It's free fishing weekend. You know that?
Yeah,
What
a
up?
lot of people in town because of it.
Is it? Good. There's a tournament down in Fort Pier we'll talk about here a little bit that I got information for.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Can't remember when North Dakota's free fishing weekend. I think that was already gone and done. I think. I'm not sure. Let's see,
Could
703, 704. Okay. A couple minutes. I should probably look that up, shouldn't I?
A handy tidbit to have. Of course, it may be free for you every weekend.
No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even get an elk tag this year.
You said you weren't?
I didn't, no.
No?
Oh, time check. Sorry, radio station's time check. 7:04:15. 7:04:15 on Mark. 7:04:15. 8:04:15 your time. Sorry about that, Todd. Yeah, there should be a free fishing weekend coming up one of these times here in North Dakota too. I can't remember.
Yeah.
They should do it like middle of summer, like July or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always crummy weather for free fishing weekend.
Yeah.
Just about every year it is. So, yep. Kind of like Memorial Weekend. Same deal.
Yeah. That's why you brand on that weekend and you fish the rest of the summer.
There you go. Yep.
You pretty booked up for the rest of the year?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty much through the middle of July, and then I haven't really taken many bookings after, the middle of July. We'll just kind of see what the bite's like before I start booking people for July.
Okay. We're about 45 seconds away here from going live. I'm going to go quiet for the stations here, and then I'll be right back with you. Stand by, Brent. Stations 7:05:30, 7:05:30. That time check here is coming up your way. 7:05 or 8:05:30 on Mark. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Good to have you along here this morning on I wouldn't say a beautiful Saturday morning, but I am going to say that because last year at this time we had like 85, 90 degrees, wind, no rain, no moisture, no green in the country. And by golly, this morning, 35 degrees here at the ranch, and it says it feels like 28 degrees. So we are in a freeze warning where we're at, and I actually got a water hydrant I got to check on here before I head. Ryan, I know you're rounding up right now, but maybe you got your headphones in your ears while you're rounding up, but I will be there for the other two roundups. I might be a little bit late here because I got to check on that water tank. So what's going on here today? Well, if you're in South Dakota, you're lucky. Today is free fishing weekend in South Dakota. Brent Kemnitz from the MoPro Guide Service here, MoPro Hotel in Mobridge, South Dakota. Welcome, Brent. How you been?
Good morning. How are you doing, Scott?
I'm doing all right. We were talking before we got on the air on the YouTube side of things. It's vastly different than it was last year at this time. We have moisture, and at least we have hope up here at this point here in the Badlands.
Yeah, same deal down here. It's been kind of a brutal spring just because of all the wind and weather we've had. It's been tough. Tough to get out in the boat and do any fishing just because of all the wind. But the river hills are as green as can be. It looks just absolutely beautiful around here, and people are smiling because of the moisture we've had.
Looks like Ireland in Mobridge is what it looks like.
It does. It's gorgeous.
Water and green.
Yes. Yeah.
That's when you know that the cows used up a lot of the older grass last year along the Lake Oahe side is when it's just green only. Hey, I got to tell everybody about the youth fishing here going on in Fort Pier. High Plains Wildlife Association is having their 46th Kids Fishing Day today, and it runs from 9 a.m. to 12 noon at the Farm Island Recreation Area on the beach east of the Causeway. And you and I were talking about free fishing weekends, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's probably not the best time. I understand that you and I were saying my personal thing is you should start the free fishing weekend should be sometime like July 4th. But
Yeah.
it seems like sometimes, not all the times, but this year it's going to be a little chilly. Chuck Hansen down in Pierre, KGFX said it's 39 and sunny down there. At least they're going to have sunshine, but still a little bit on the chilly side for the fishing weekend.
Yeah, and that's the same here. I mean, we got 37 degrees, and yeah, they're gonna have to bundle up today. But at least the sun's shining here. It'll be a nice day for them, and especially the people that are going from shore and stuff. You get on the boat, and it changes that temperature a little bit. So, yeah,
get that lake effect.
Right. Add a little acidity to the equation, and it makes it a lot cooler.
So, how important is it to have these kids fishing tournaments?
Well, I think it's crucial. I mean, today these kids have these little social media things going on their phones, and it's just awesome to get these guys outdoors and get them introduced to fishing and hunting. And I think it's just a dying thing with all the stuff that they've got to mess around with as far as electronics and stuff like that. So it's awesome that Fort Pierre is doing that for these kids. Yeah,
it seems to me like it's hard to get kids into maybe hunting deer. It's like a lot of work to go out there and walk around, or maybe sit in a blind and be patient or quiet, especially when it comes to archery side of things. But when it comes to fishing, it seems like they're a little bit more inclined to want to try that. Am I coming off wrong? I mean, is that wrong or right here?
No, I think that's accurate. The thing I've been really fortunate with, especially my two girls. They're both ages right now where they can do the hunting and the fishing and stuff, and I've kind of laid off the electronics for them and told them they couldn't have social media and this and that. And the thing is, I think it's paid off. They love to hunt, they love to fish, so it's nice. They like to get outdoors for sure.
So, what's the easiest way to get a kid into fishing? Shore fishing, boat fishing, struggles, the ups and downs. What is it for a kid? You guide. I'm sure you have kids that come with, and you have to guide them too.
Yeah, I've had kids with me, and honestly, the best thing you can do for a kid is make sure that there is a good bite. They have to go out there and sit and wait and be bored. It's not going to pan out well for them. I think you got to make sure that you take them on times when you're going to catch fish. So yeah, but also make them understand that it's not like that every time you go out. So
yeah. That's the thing is, fishing it sometimes takes a long time and waiting and all that. But you say you take the electronics away, but yet you use a lot of electronics to get fish in the boat. So
we do.
Come on now. Not all bad.
I'm a hypocrite, I guess. So yeah. Yep.
How many kids do you probably mentor a year?
Throughout the year, I probably have a dozen that come in the boat and fish with us. So it's not, we don't get a lot of them, but we do get a fair number of them. So
are they all first timers, or have some of them been out there before?
Let's say half and half. It seems like about half of them have, this is the first trip they've ever come with. They either come with their grandpas or their dads or something like that. And then, but half of them have been coming out for several years with me, and I've watched them grow up since 5, 6 years old all the way up to seniors in high school. So
really? Yeah. Do they ever come back? So they grow up, they get to be senior in high school, and do they stay with it, or do they get preoccupied until they're married again and then get back into it again? What's the scoop there?
Well, it just seems like a small percentage of them do. It's just, they're at that point in their life where they're so busy with starting a family and a job and stuff like that. So it's tough for them to do it when they get that early 20s or mid 20s and early 30s and stuff like that. But I do have a few people that have continued to come, into their early adulthood. So, yeah.
So what's more fun for the kids to go fishing and catch? Because up in our area, I was telling you about my bulls, probably in the bottom of Davis Dam, at least a couple of them. And they stocked that Davis Dam with bluegills and trout. And it's a great kids fishing place because you can shore fish and you're pretty much you're going to catch something. And is that true out in Lake Oahe too? When you take kids fishing, do you try to find a school of maybe crappies or something to get in on?
Yeah, I've always said walleyes are the worst thing to start a kid fishing with, because they're tough to catch. They're finicky. The bite's not always on. But yeah, so what you said, I mean, the bluegill thing, trout thing, that's the thing to do with these kids. Or bass. My kids love catching bass. If I've got a day off guiding and they want to jump in the boat with me, we go smallmouth bass fishing, because you're almost easier. And they're fun too. I mean, they're the most fightingest fish there is out there. So yeah, that's what I would be doing with them. I'd be taking them smallmouth bass fishing if we were going down out of the river.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yep.
Smallmouth bass. Well, you can even take me small. It's fun for adults to catch things too. Doesn't always have to be. Yeah. So, we're up against our first break here. Brent, stand by, and we'll be back more. We're talking fishing on Lake Oahe. If you have questions for the pro himself, 1-888-932-5682. That's 888-932-5682. You can also text message me questions at 701-425-6651. I'm also live on YouTube. If you want to jump on there and message me through that, or any of my social media accounts should pop up here. Once again, the High Plains Wildlife Association out of Pierre and Fort Pierre. It's the 46th annual Kids Fishing Day tournament today, 9 a.m. to 12 noon at Farm Island Recreation Area on the beach east of the Causeway. It's free fishing weekend in South Dakota. Take advantage of it. And that's for everybody, not just kids, everybody. So if you're interested, give it a shot. More after these messages.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Motrest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Piper's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Piper's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com.
Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Our outdoor heritage is important to North Dakotans, and the state's oil and natural gas industry is advancing the possibilities for conservation. The North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund receives up to $40 million per biennium from oil and natural gas taxes. The industry is reclaiming land for future generations, and it's developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. North Dakota Oil and Natural Gas, advancing the possibilities. Brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation.
Are you looking for a home loan? Dakota Community Bank and Trust makes it easy and convenient to find the best loan program and most current rates available. Whether you are shopping for a home for the first time or thinking about new construction or refinancing, we offer the assistance of an experienced mortgage officer, together with a convenient online or in-person application process. Let us walk alongside you to find the exact loan to meet your specific needs. Find your local home loan officer at dakotacommunitybank.com.
You know, you can shop at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame online at northdakotacowboy.com. Just click on shop. Find inductee playing cards, special edition pro rodeo cards, mugs, ornaments, and much more. Find out more information on our winter roundup in Arizona in January, as well as February's annual meeting in Valley City. The North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, very active on social media. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a great winter, and we look forward to seeing you in historic Medora this coming spring. Meanwhile, go to northdakotacowboy.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Motrest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Dakota Prairie Outdoors, Saturday edition. Music right there from Benny Paulson's Breaking 8. You can find them on Apple Play, Amazon Music, anywhere you go. Thank you, Benny, for allowing me to use that music on my YouTube channel, as well as all across the fruited country here on the Dakota Territory. Brent Kemnitz from MoPro Guide Service out of Mobridge, South Dakota is my guest here today. Good to have you along, including the stations in Mobridge here. KOLY, thank you for having me on. KGFX in Fort Pierce, South Dakota. K-Fire 550, Bismarck, Mandan, KCJB in Minot, and KLTC Dickinson. And Brent, I tell you, it's fun getting kids out. Now it's time to talk what's happening on Lake Oahe right now, because temperature-wise, wind-wise, what's the fishing like on the Mobridge area of Lake Oahe?
Well, like I said, I mean, we've had such a incredibly crummy and windy spring, and our temperatures are probably a little bit lower than normal. So I'd say we're a little behind on our bite this year. But, you know, just actually this last week, Monday, I mean, things had really kicked into gear. Our water temp was up around 55 to 57 degrees, just depending on the day. And the bite was phenomenal. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I had 3 of the best days that I've had in a long time. Just a lot of numbers, a lot of quality size fish. So Oahe was really kind of kicking into gear, and now this cold front hit. And Thursday I was out in the boat, and then, you know, that cold front hit, and it just shut them right down. And it was a tough day on Thursday. But yeah, so I think once we get some consistent weather this next week, things are going to fire up. It's going to be incredible.
Well, it should warm up this coming week here nicely. And how much does the wind have an effect on fishing for you?
Honestly, I think the wind helps the bite a little bit. If you can handle the wind, you know, once you start getting up into that 30 to 35 mile per hour wind stuff, it gets tough to manage the boat and be effective at what you're doing. But, you know, if you can get those 10 to 15, 10 to 20 mile per hour winds, it actually helps the fishing out. So
888-932-5682. That's 888-9-DAKOTA. If you have questions, comments, you can sure call in. Let's go to Hazen and get a question here. Jesse, you're on with Brent.
Hey, Brent, how's it going?
Good morning, Jesse. How are you?
I'm not too bad. My question for the lake down there, is it looking like Sakakawea is? What's your water level like down there?
So right now our elevation is 15, just under 1596, which is about 24 foot below what our high is. So yeah, we got a lot of exposed land, and we're starting to see quite a few exposed trees too. So yes, I'm assuming it's looking a lot like Sakakawea.
Yeah, what's that doing for your fishing? We haven't had the smelt hatch yet, I don't think, but what's it going to do to what do you think it's going to do to the bait fish this year? Last time the lake up here was this low, fishing got real good in certain areas if you knew where to go. But with this rain now and the levels are moving, and it's just, I'm interested in what it's going to do to the fishing this year now.
Yeah, for us, I think what's going to happen, it did that smelt, and we've also got a lot of lake herring in the system. And a lot of times that cold water gets pushed to the lower end of the reservoir. And so all that bait fish tends to migrate towards the deeper water in the southern end of the reservoir. And guess what? The fish go with them. So that's what's going to happen. I'm assuming both on Oahe and Sakakawea.
That'd be good news from my end of the lake up here, I guess. Usually the bite starts way up north by the arm and up in the river, and then moves east towards my end of the lake later in the year. But yeah, it's just just want to tell everybody I've already had one rock strike come into my insurance agency this year, and I tore the bottom off of my boat last year. Be careful, everybody. It's going to be an interesting one for the next year or two here till the water levels come back up.
Well, Jesse, here's a good thing: is you could go down with Brent and take your boat in front of him and kind of mark where all those bad, kind of mark where all the bad parts are.
I'm good at hitting stuff, I guess.
To do that, you'd be like
we had one get hit down by Bismarck during the Big Muddy, and he was told 2 to 3 months till he can get parts for his boat. That's the other scary thing. Boy, you break down, you might be done for the summer. It's not good right now with availability on. Doesn't matter what you reckon. Good luck on getting parts.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Jesse,
we gotta try to.
We're on the Dakota Walleye Classic here. We're entering into that again. And Brent last year gave us the tips to come in the second day and actually bring in a whole limit.
Yeah, we brought in a limit. You caught one big old pig. That thing been around the block a couple times. It had the works to prove it.
we needed 5 of those. Is what we needed.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we're gonna try something a little different this year. We might. Our first day, we went east to the areas where you and I have fished before and a little more comfortable, and we might have to do some meandering this year and go try some other stuff out.
Well, as soon as you put a bigger motor on that boat so we can get above, 60, 70 miles an hour and keep up with the big boys.
I don't think that's happening. Can you imagine that poor little aluminum boat at 60?
I wouldn't be in it or riding with you at 60, I'll tell you that. What we need to do, maybe Brent will let us borrow his boat this year.
Yeah,
I'm sure he wants to be broke down the rest of the year.
Especially after Jesse told me how accident prone he was. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't wrecked the fishing boat yet, but the big play boat, boy, she didn't fare very good last year. But
he was taking his kids fishing instead of tubing, is what he was doing last year. So it wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Jesse. Sorry, go ahead.
There's one more. What are your when the water levels are low like this? Do you see more people coming to go guide fishing just because you know what's going on, or does that not really affect your numbers?
It hasn't really affected my numbers. I mean, I've had a full schedule for the last few years, and I do again this year. But I will say, like on the motel side of things, there's been a lot of people on the fence, and they hear about the low water and stuff like that, and it scares a lot of people. It does. Right. So we've had some cancellations because of low water, and just honestly, most of it's because of rumors that they've heard that they were not going to have any ramps. We're not going to, we're not going to have any water left, and then it's just not the case. But it definitely has affected our reservations at the motel for sure.
Yeah. Well, one of these days I'll get back down there again. That time we came with, it was a good time.
Yeah.
And with that said, I'll hang up and listen here, but I do want to know what the strangest thing that's ever been caught on your boat is.
Okay.
We'll catch you later.
Right, thanks for the call.
Yeah.
888-932-5682. That's 888-932-5682. So what is the strangest things? Strangest you caught? Besides what we thought was a dead body that one time that we caught.
Yeah, Gene and I were just talking about that the other day. Yeah. Honestly, I haven't had anything real strange. I mean, we've caught people's drift socks. We've hooked into ice shacks that have been, people have lost ice fishing, like portable ice shacks and stuff like that. But yeah, nothing overly strange,
Yeah.
The thing is, like, the cool thing about, like, this day and age is the electronics. Like, last year I was coming into the boat dock and I saw a little blurb on my side scan. I'm like, what in the world is that? And I turned around and went over it again with my graph, and sure enough, it was a pickup. Somebody had, and actually it ended up being a stolen vehicle from around here, and somebody took it and drove it right into the bay back by the boat ramp, and it was sitting out in the middle of the bay in about 15 foot of water. So,
which I'm guessing you report to the authorities.
Yep. And they ended up retrieving it about a week later. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have more coming up in the second half of the program. Brent Kemnitz from MoPro Guide Service out of Mobridge, South Dakota is my guest. And we're talking fishing. It's Free Fishing Weekend in South Dakota. And the High Plains Wildlife Association at Pier Fort Pier hosting its 46th Kids Fishing Day today, 9 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time at the Farm Island Recreation Area on the beach on the east of the causeway. So no park entrance license required to do this. It's open house weekend in the state park system as well. So get out there for the kids fishing tournament, and it's Free Fishing Weekend in South Dakota. So enjoy that. More with Brent Kemnitz coming up your way right after these messages.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Boat Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Piper's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Piper's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Savvy. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com.
Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Our outdoor heritage is important to North Dakotans, and the state's oil and natural gas industry is advancing the possibilities for conservation. The North Dakota Outdoor Heritage Fund receives up to $40 million per biennium from oil and natural gas taxes. The industry is reclaiming land for future generations, and it's developing our state's natural resources in harmony with our great outdoors and wildlife. North Dakota Oil and Natural Gas, advancing the possibilities. Brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Foundation.
Are you looking for a home loan? Dakota Community Bank and Trust makes it easy and convenient to find the best loan program and most current rates available. Whether you are shopping for a home for the first time or thinking about new construction or refinancing, we offer the assistance of an experienced mortgage officer, together with a convenient online or in-person application process. Let us walk alongside you to find the exact loan to meet your specific needs. Find your local home loan officer at dakotacommunitybank.com.
You know you can shop at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame online at northdakotacowboy.com. Just click on shop. Find inductee playing cards, special edition pro rodeo cards, mugs, ornaments, and much more. Find out more information on our winter roundup in Arizona in January, as well as February's annual meeting in Valley City. The North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, very active on social media. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a great winter, and we look forward to seeing you in historic Medora this coming spring. Meanwhile, go to northdakotacowboy.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the Saturday edition. Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Scott Bachmeyer with you here this morning as we continue our talk with MoPro Guide Service and Brent Kemnitz out of Mobridge, South Dakota. Brent, with Jesse, we were talking about different ways and different tactics here in fishing. Are you doing more jigging with the water level so low than trolling for walleye this year?
I always typically start out, jig fishing, jigs and minnows, and honestly, our water temp's still low enough where we're still doing it. But I would say here in the next, week to 2 weeks here, we're going to be transitioning over to bottom bouncers and minnows, and then probably bottom bouncers and night crawlers. But yeah, so we've been, it's kind of been an extended season of jig fishing, which is, in my book, awesome. That's my favorite way to catch fish is on a jig and a minnow.
When did the ice go off to the point where you can get boats on the Oahe side in Mobridge?
We actually went off real early. We were like the second week of March this year. Wow. Our ice came off. So, and then then it turned back into winter again, and it just was tough to get out fishing on the, with all the wind and cold weather that we had. But it came off earlier this year. But yeah. So.
Wind. This has been a windy spring, or I don't know if you can even say spring. Did we have spring?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. It's been a windy winter up until May 21st here. So,
right. We see glimmers of it. I mean, Wednesday we were 80 degrees here. So, and then the next day we come off the water, it was 47. So it's just swings that we get. So.
Well, during one of the breaks here earlier, we were talking about different things that helping people get into fishing, whether it's kids, but also people that may have some physical disabilities. And what is it like as a guide to have somebody with physical disabilities, getting them in and out of boats and all that? Do you have to deal with that quite a bit?
Actually, I do. I was telling you during the break, my wife and I were talking, and just I would say the average age of my customers now is getting up there, 60, 65 years old. They're getting up there in age. They're not as agile as they used to be. So getting in and out of the boat is a challenge for a lot of them. And I've been doing it enough years. I know I can get it up, get the boat right next to the dock, and I can manage to get them in. But, like you and I were talking, it just would be nice if our parks departments and stuff through the Game and Fish would see that need that we have for doing some sort of ramps up on dry land to get these people into boats and stuff, something that they can feel safer getting into a boat. So
now you said they have something like this on the Sakakawea, the Van Hook Arm.
They do up at the Van Hook. They've got a really nice handicap loading ramp up there. It's awesome. Yeah.
So I mean, it's just something you pull up to here, and they just walk up a nice easy ramp, step easily into the boat, and the same thing when you leave. You can pull up on the same side and.
Absolutely. Yep. Loading and unloading. It's just a simple deal up there. So, yeah. Somebody put some thought into that up there. It was a good plan.
So if it takes funding, I have a hard time not believing there wouldn't be somebody listening to the program right now saying, I'd pay for that. Somebody wants a loading ramp like that, or even some companies are like, we can build one of those.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get in touch with? Just go straight to the South Dakota Game Fish Parks, or what do you think?
Well, I think that's where you'd have to start. Is start at your local parks department. If it's something you're willing to donate to, or donate the full amount to do it, they're going to get the wheel turning on the thing. And like I mentioned to you, I sit on a tourism department board with our parks director out here at Indian Creek, and we've put the bug in his ear, and he's really been doing a lot of research on it and stuff like that. But the parking, I think, is limited in a lot of these boat ramp areas.
Right.
And they don't want to chew up another spot for them. And then, like we said, the funding also. But
I never thought about the parking side of things, because it would take. I mean, it'd have to be like a separate lane that you could go in and out of, and be able to do that. But I think it would be a great idea, because there's a lot of people probably get to that stage in their life, or maybe they've had an accident of some sort that keeps them from being able to, jump up in a boat.
Absolutely.
Out of a boat, I mean, they still want to fish, but it's like, wow, there's no way of me getting in and out anymore. And
right.
It's too bad.
And it's, I've been fortunate where I haven't had any accidents, people getting in and out of the boat, but it's probably going to happen sometime where somebody's going to slip and fall, and so it would be nice, just something to make it a little easier for these older people to be able to continue to enjoy fishing.
Not even older people. Some of the younger guys have some accidents too,
Yeah, that too. Absolutely. Yep, that too.
Got a text message comes in. Brent says, what are you using for jigging setups here? So if you're out there jigging for walleye.
Yeah, right now we're just running 1/8 ounce, 1/4 ounce jigs and just round lead head jigs, and then tipping them with either 1 or 2 minnows seems to be kind of the ticket. And then a lot of times, this time of the year, we're pitching up real shallow and stuff, and I'm putting like a split tail plastic on, like a Zoom fluke or a Berkeley realistic bait or something like that. Yeah, and those are awesome when you can get those to work, because then you don't have to rebait all the time. You can pretty much use that plastic all day long and not have any issues with it. So
rip them lips with those things. How about the new boat this year? Still with Lund?
Still with Lund. Yep. Still running a 219 Lund GL Pro V with 300 Mercury on it. That seemed to be a great boat for me. It's been working for me.
Can we just borrow that motor for Jesse's aluminum boat?
Yeah, well, like I said, after hearing how accident prone Jesse is, maybe not.
Well, I'll drive.
Yeah, okay.
That'll be better. It's amazing when you go to some of these fishing tournaments. You look at the boats out there, man. I mean, they're not cheap anymore. I mean, it's if you're seriously into the tournament circuit, it seems like those guys have some big fancy, and not only the boat's expensive, the motor on it has to be a pretty darn expensive too. And then you look at all the electronics and gear and everything else they have. There's quite a bit of money into this fishing side of thing.
They've got a lot of money tied up into these boats anymore. And just in the last 5 years, I mean, the boat market has just exploded. I mean,
really,
a lot of these big boats that you're seeing, they're pushing $130,000, believe it or not, and then you start putting, that's just the boat and the motors. And then you start putting electronics and stuff on. I mean, I would say there's a few of these guys that have 135, 140,000 tied up into a boat.
So what are you looking at electronic wise? Is there anything new that's coming out? I mean, I know you have side imaging on yours, and I think you run Humminbird. Is anything new? I mean, is there to a point? Are they always trying to change the technology so you can see more and more and more every year, or are they kind of reach a plateau of like, you know what, this is where the technology is here for the next 5-6 years? Do you wait to buy the next screen and sonar, or do you get one every year?
Well, I've been getting a new one every year just because it just works good to sell the boat as a full package. But the new thing out there right now, it's called forward facing sonar, and basically what it is it's a sonar you can put out either on a trolling motor or you can put it on a pole, and you can take it and scan it out and tell which way the sonar is pointing, and you can actually watch the fish, how it's reacting to your bait. You can watch the fish swim. You can see the bait fish. It's an incredible technology that's out there, and there's a lot of fish being caught because of it. It's amazing. The next
this is something you have?
I do have, yes. Yep, I've got the version which is called Mega Live, and like I said, it's amazing technology. It's the closest thing to watching them on TV that you can get. Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have screens for people in front and the back where they can sit and watch this? And
absolutely, yeah.
Do you
with the networking and stuff of the graphs, I mean, you can just flip it over. You can watch the same screen that everybody's watching. So yeah.
So do you feel obligated that being a fishing guide, you need to have the latest and greatest of everything?
Well, I would say to an extent. I take my Mega Live off most days because I feel like it's a distraction to me. I'm playing with that more than I'm doing what I should be doing, which is putting my clients on fish and helping them out. So yeah, but it's like I said, it's just a truly amazing technology that's out there.
Yeah.
So
how about rods and reels? That's pretty much plateau. They still coming out with like golf clubs, the next one that guaranteed to fix your slice, right?
Yeah, the rods and reels thing haven't changed a lot. I mean, the thing with the rods and reels, you get what you pay for. The higher end stuff is, I mean, it's just phenomenal stuff. It's crazy good.
So Gene Cox just messaged me. I'm sure you know him.
A little bit, yeah.
He says, I'm really going to have to replace my Eagle Eye 3. It's like watching Pitfall Harry on Atari.
That's good.
He's still playing Oregon Trail over there on his Commodore computer.
Oh yeah. Dean is our mayor here in town, and I'm actually on the city council with him, and him and I have some pretty good conversations. Yeah. He's a great guy.
Well, and he's into that lever action. I've had him on the show a couple times here, and what a book of knowledge on lever action old time guns, man.
No doubt.
Just gets into that. So that's that's what's nice about the Mobridge community. I mean, I've always enjoyed going down and visiting because it seems like you're not too far from home when you go to Mobridge. It's like everybody's into the hunting and the fishing, and for the most part, anyway, it seems like.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. So the Eagle graph that he's got, that goes right along with his lever action. He's into dealing with the antique stuff, so it's right in for him.
Well, if he holds on to it long enough, he might be on a $20,000 thing that he only paid $200 for. Maybe, I don't know.
It's true. Yeah,
we'll get the American pickers to come up and start picking your fishing equipment there, Gene. So,
right.
Well, fiberglass over aluminum boats. Why is that?
Well, in my situation, it works great. We're dealing with big water all the time, and they're just a better ride. The aluminum boats definitely have their place. I mean, the eastern lakes, I don't know that I would have a fiberglass over on some of the smaller eastern lakes. They're just, you're not going to crack them when you hit a stump. You may put a dent in them or something like that, but they're more versatile on the smaller lakes and stuff. But the fiberglass is definitely the way to go on the bigger water reservoirs.
It's amazing the ride technology that they've implemented in boats over the years, even down to the seats now. They have hydraulic or air suspended seats.
Yeah, the Lund came out with a new suspension seat 2 years ago. It's mind-boggling. I mean, you're hitting those waves and you feel like you're floating on air. It's crazy.
Gene came back with a comeback to you here. He says the fish all swim left to right on his screen.
That technology, they have not changed. They all do.
Isn't that something that's one thing? It's like they all scroll the same way, no matter what. Even if you're anchored, it's still scrolling the same way.
Right. Right.
I wonder when they're going to have that technology change to where it's like all live view anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what forward-facing stuff does. It's live. It is live, and you're not having it scrolling across the screen. It's live action right in front of you. Yep.
Like putting a GoPro camera down in the water with your line.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
So when are they gonna get to the point? Like archery season, you can't really use a whole lot. You can't use an electronic rangefinder that's mounted on your bow. We had to fight like crazy to get lighted knocks passed in the legislature, right? In order to get peace. When are they going to get to the fishing side? Or it's like, well, hey, hold on, boys. That's enough technology here. I don't think that's ever going to happen on the fishing side, is it?
I don't foresee it happening. I think it's just going to get better and better. And the thing is, I mean, with fishing, you got the element of making these fish bite still. I mean, you can't force a fish to bite, and deer hunting and hunting in general is a different deal. I mean, where, if you have an advantage, I mean, you're definitely going to see the positive side of it just because of that. So
I don't see a problem with that, Brent.
Yeah. Maybe people care about deer more than they do fish. I don't know.
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe it'd be interesting because, I don't know if you've seen it or I've seen it maybe differently, but I just see more and more people getting into the fishing side of things. And even the hunting side. I mean, we had North Dakota reported like 148% increase in archery.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge, especially, you look at a lot of the units being closed up this year because of EHD last year. Some of the whitetail units just decimated. So they're going to go somewhere, around the state, and if it's a statewide tag. But have you seen the same thing in your area? Increase in hunters, increase in people out there on the water fishing?
As far as the hunting, I've seen more people, like you said, getting into archery hunting. And I honestly, I think in South Dakota, it's mainly because it's easier to get tags through archery. The fishing side of it, seeing more numbers of fishermen. And I always say anymore, the old adage, everybody used to say that 90% of the fish were caught by 10% of the fishermen.
Mm-hmm.
And that adage does not hold true anymore. People are, for the most part, really good fishermen. They all have good technology. They all have good equipment. They're able to get places that they weren't able to get to back in the 80s and 90s because of the boats and equipment they've got. And so there's a lot more. I seriously, I think there's a lot more fish being taken out of these reservoirs than what there was in the past. And I seriously think the fisheries departments need to change some rules or change their tactics as how they're managing fisheries just because of it, because I think there's more fish coming out.
Is that right? North Dakota doesn't have a slot limit, and South Dakota does on certain things. Do you think slot limits are a good thing, bad thing? We're getting kind of short here, so.
Me personally, I like to have the slot limit. I think we've grown a lot of really, really nice fish in Lake Oahe because of South Dakota slot limit. Does it affect the population? Probably not by taking those out because they're such a small percentage of the fish. But I think there's a lot of big trophies that are being caught because of the slot limit for sure. So, yeah.
One couple quick comments here. Jesse Flash said they took away the advantage of making fishing easy by making dynamite illegal.
Yeah.
And also another comment says Brent Kemnitz, the guy who made Babe Winkleman retire.
Yeah, right. I don't think so.
I actually ran across who was it? I think it was Babe Winkleman's daughter's husband. I think it was. I did a presentation at a grazing meeting, and somebody came up and introduced himself as that. Now I don't know if that's true or not because I really don't follow Babe Winkleman. I mean, I did when I was a kid in the 80s, but that was about it. So, well, Brent, if people have questions, comments, want to get signed up with you, see if you have any open dates this fall, how do they find you?
So they can just reach me here at the motel. Call me on our land number at the motel, 605-845-3668. They can reach out through email too if they want to, or I've got a Facebook page that they can find me there. And then we've also got a website, which is www.oahewalleyes.com.
Okay. Brent, I appreciate you always making time and coming up here on the program with me. I know it's rare that you wouldn't be fishing on a Saturday morning because, I guess thankfully the weather made it so I could have you on here. So that worked out nicely. So
it did. Yeah.
Have yourself a good weekend. I'm going to finish up here and head to a branding. You have yourself a good day.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
You bet. Brent Kemnitz, the MoPro Guide Service. You can find them at OaheWalleyes.com and check them out right there. You can also check out my daily program, Dakota Prairie Outdoors, each and every day on all of these radio stations, plus more. And if you miss it there, you can always find it at DakotaPrairieOutdoors.com. New website and a new app coming by the end of the year. I guarantee you that. Have yourself a great day. Enjoy a free fishing weekend in Fort Pierre. Good luck at the kids. Eat some meat, drink some milk, and enjoy the rest of the weekend here. Pray for some sunshine to get this grass growing. All right, stations, thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. You have a good one. YouTube, thanks for joining in today. We'll catch you down the road next week.